Okay, and we are live. I hope.
Well, yeah, we hope we're live. I'm not sure if we are live. You can tell me.
Okay.
Oh, it looks like we're live.
You can see it?
I just got an alert to say that we're live.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's just popped up in my bottom corner.
All right. So, welcome to the first live episode of The Clutch Kick. I am one of your hosts, EG, and to my...
I'm Greg.
And, okay, so in this episode, we're going to test out the live streaming. So this will be our first stream. You can send us questions. Well, actually, if you listen to the recording, then you won't be able to send us questions. Well, actually, no, you still can, but we won't respond to them because it would be in the past. Anyway, what we're hoping is just to get people to send questions through. I think Greg would be able to look at the questions because I'm actually broadcasting at the moment.
We'll wait and see if I can see them. I can pull up the live stream. Maybe a little bit delayed, but yeah, I've got it as a live stream.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it could affect your internet, your streaming. Sorry.
Yeah, my connection.
Yep. Anyway, we'll start off with some news. So first bit of news was last weekend was DCA Queensland State Series at Archerfield in Brisbane. So there were two classes. I only watched some of the expression session. I didn't actually get to see it live because I was doing some work on my car. But we do have results from round one. In pro class, first was Kyle Scheffler, I think. In second place was Stephen Brugmans, and third was Barry Clark. Level 2 class, first was Dale Popel. I'm not even sure how to pronounce some of these names.
I'm letting you do it because I'm going to butcher them just as bad as you.
Yeah, and people probably give you shit for it. So, and second place was James McManaway. Yeah, it's really weird without the second M being capitalized. And in third was Dane Loco Wilkinson. That's probably just a nickname in there.
Yeah, that's the Loco S13 with that was a Queensland Matsuri. S13 graffiti down the side.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
I think he also did Cash Kings. So did he do Cash Kings
in that car, in the graffiti car?
No, maybe not. Maybe he's been up there just for events that I've been up there in Queensland for. Kyle, the guy who won, I think that was his first competition ever. Jumped straight into pro, but a couple of weekends before, when I went out to Archie after I left QR Matsuri, he was out there, and I have sick footage of him up on three wheels through the Nico section, and he was in the middle of and leading like 5-6 car trains in absolutely torrential rain. So the guy knows how to steer, and I'm sure he will probably end up driving in the I would imagine Cash Kings, so he'll be one to watch for sure in Cash Kings. EG, while we're live, share this if you can. Jump on and share this on your personal page.
Okay.
We have two viewers. I'm probably one of them.
And I'm the other person because I just clicked on there. Oh, look.
So we clearly. Now we have 4, so we're clearly talking to all our friends.
Yeah. Let's see. Just gonna. How can I share this?
I think the clutch slip is killing us for live viewers.
I think so. How do I share? Jai says hi. I'm just going to share. I don't even know if this will share it on my post, my page.
Yeah, you just shared it.
Okay, cool.
You're good.
Okay, so let's see. I'll just see if
so it's the two of us speaking to Jai.
Okay. Oh, he's coming to Tasmania, isn't he?
well, he's supposed to come to Tasmania, but as far as I'm aware, his application to the Bash 3 got accepted, and he's decided that that's better to drive than coming to Tasmania. So, yes, JayZ standing us up.
After he got the 300 likes.
Yeah. So, well, I guess this is a good opportunity if you do currently like the drive-in real 137 page. It's time to pull your like off that page because, yeah, he's basically stiffing all of us. And maybe we can do another campaign to get him his likes back if he decides to actually show up to a DCA event. So we'll see what happens with that one.
Okay, yeah, so we're telling everyone to unlike that page now? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, that's basically what we're doing.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, we've got a few... Hey, is Dylan. Dylan's joined. Hey, Dylan, how you going?
Nah, he's just going to give us a laughing face, and that's all he's going to give us.
I think our responses are going to be quite delayed to when you comment, though.
Yeah, probably. Or JayZ replying. Oh, JayZ sent his entry through to Pro Level for High Tech Series, so we're just waiting on the public announcement for that to come up on the page.
Okay, so have they actually filled all their numbers yet? Because I got an email, I think it was an invitation to apply almost, I think it was. You know how like the Russians invite you to visit their country when you apply for a visa?
A visa?
Yeah, you've been to Russia, haven't you?
Yeah, but in there on some good visas and some dodgy visas. So.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, the high tech series will be interesting. I think we might.
Yeah. Oh, and they've been making. Have you seen? There's been a few announcements of drivers, but from my understanding of a lot of the guys who they've announced already are probably stepping into Pro-Am. So it's almost more of a New South Wales feeder series at the moment than it is the pro level stuff that they're looking to do. So it would be interesting to see what happens with that moving forward and what all these guys are actually planning on competing in.
Okay, so it's just the feeder series that people are entering and no one in the pro series? Whoops. Oh, Jesus.
There's a few guys. Yeah, there's a few guys in the pro series. Your regulars like Brad Toohey, Rob Arbolino have entered into that. But then, and Aaron DeWall. And then it looks like there's a few guys who could be entered in either. So it will be interesting to see where most of those guys end up competing and see what sort of numbers they get moving into the future, I guess. Early days for that. You said you're working on your car. Are you prepping for... You're not doing Revo, right?
I didn't make the entry...
It's because you don't have a body kit and rims, mate.
Yeah. I don't have a body kit. I bought one on the way up to Queensland.
Yeah, and then didn't you smash that front bar?
No, it's still there. I just took it off because it kept catching, like it kept popping off and catching on the wheel. So it kept falling off, which is not a good thing because if it falls on the track and someone else like hits it and you get stuck under their wheel and they slide into another car, then it's kind of dangerous. So I just popped it off. That's all. But I didn't. What? I
didn't think you Canberra boys were scared of a little bit of danger. Thought that's what you guys live for.
Well, no, for us it's fine. We'll just like barrel through it. But it's the people behind us. You know, like you guys, you're behind. No, so yeah, I was doing some car work. It's mainly just getting rid of junk and rubbish. We replaced the engine mount on Nick's R32. So Alexi was telling us a story about how it took him 6 hours to do it at a Vishu. And
out of the shoe.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we got it done in less than half an hour. But that was only one.
Well, there you go, mate. Buddy, Alexi, you famous YouTube sensation can't do a bloody engine mount on his own in less than 6 hours.
Oh, he had his help. He had help. He said.
Well, clearly not the right type of help.
I think there might have been Toyota people.
Warwick Hill said, I wanted to ask what the audio is like, and Warwick Hill replied, audio better when Greg not talking. Thanks, Warwick.
Yeah, cool.
Well, speaking of Warwick, while he's dropping comments, did you see the video of his car at drift school last weekend?
At DSA. I watched it. I don't remember it. I remember it was blazing a lot.
Yeah, good tyre smoke. It looks like he's got some big fancy rocket bunny flares going on that I'm not sure if his back doors are going to open anymore. So no more 4 doors, more whores. It seems like he's got himself a solid girlfriend and he's got those back doors sewn up. And he looks like he's got some form of ducktail or a lip or something on the boot, but it's hard to tell with the amount of smoke. So he'll probably go and plough that into a wall at one of the first events. So let's see what he does. But I'm sure this season for him is going to be a big one. And yeah, already looking like he's out there killing it with the car looking fairly fresh. Maybe he'll give us a sneak peek in the next little while about what this car's going to look like for the rest of the season. If Warwick's... What do you say? Haha went 2-door, went Pandem kit. Maddie's not allowed to drive it.
But you should drive... Warwick should drive Maddie's car. And Maddie should drive Warwick's car. I think they both go better in each other's cars.
Well, yeah, that lap that Warwick jumped into Maddie's car at Cash Kings was absolutely mint. That was like one of the sickest laps that I saw all weekend.
Yeah, it was really cool.
So drive that car, mate, and plow it into things.
Okay, so I am seeing a little bit of issues with the stream with our connection, but that's due to the NBN not being available here. So I think Greg's video is just going to keep getting worse and worse. But currently I'm just streaming through my phone like I do normally.
Flash just let us know.
Yeah.
Flash just told us that he lost a motor at DSA. I have the DSA curse, hence why I haven't been back there for a year and a half. I seem to break things every time I go, so I'm sort of avoiding it as well, Flash. So it might be worth you avoiding there too.
No, DSA is fun. I like it. You actually have to, or you don't have to, but it's a good course to push up against people.
No, I just seem to break things. Like my car overheats, I blow motors, I blow turbos,
yeah.
I just don't have a good time. I have a curse there. Dylan's saying we have Lag City, but
there's nothing I can do.
Running off.
So our current setup is I've got my mobile phone as the internet. It's currently receiving the video from Greg and then taking my video and uploading it to the internet. Next time I probably should do it at a lower resolution, I think. So Regan said hi from Tokyo. Clutch Sleep episode 2 is coming soon. That's been a long time coming. That's meant to be. I think he said he was going to do an episode 2 or 3 weeks ago.
They've already done episode 2.
Have they?
They've already done episode 2. They're coming back from... Yeah, the episode coming back from Mount Gambier was episode 2. They did a clutch slip before that.
Okay. Hi, Greg. Judith from New South Wales Ice Racing here. Judith Lee.
Hello.
Is that all?
Wrong time of racing going on here. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what else is there? So last weekend was also DSA, and so there's a few people who debuted their cars there, I think. Was this Matt?
Yeah, and then we're also... You mean Warwick?
Oh, sorry, Warwick. There was someone else as well, I thought.
That's just rude. So that's just
They
rude.
keep
Now you're
changing
going to get
cars.
them all
They
right
keep changing cars. It's hard to keep up sometimes.
that's just rough, mate. I saw we're 2 weeks out from round 2 of Vic Drift, and I think that also means we're 2 weeks out from round 2 of Rally. Regan's trying to give us advice, but
yeah, okay. So Regan's saying we should be able to invite Greg to the live feed through Facebook. I'm not sure how to do that. I'm just doing the streaming from OBS. If the Australian government actually kept up with their original schedule, then we would have NBN a few years ago, and I wouldn't have this issue.
a few years ago.
Yeah, definitely a few years ago. But that's not drifting related unless we're talking about uploading videos and doing this sort of stuff.
Yeah, and you could upload more street lamp inspection videos. Oh yes, Revo also announced that they're running the Schlong layout at the Revo Day in a couple of weeks.
Which is the reverse short long course. No, long short course, I think they called it before.
Yeah, that's why it's the Schlong.
Yeah. So that's a pretty fun layout. We had a few good runs with. Do you know Darren Appleton?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I had a few good runs. He came down one day to an IDA, and we had a few trains going on with him with that layout. It's really cool.
How do people go with the slow up into sort of? I guess it's almost a hairpin when you cut back down from long course down into short course. Does that turn into a bottleneck section, or is that a pretty smooth section when you run it that way?
It's not smooth at all. So
bottleneck.
And it's like you almost turn back on yourself. So it's like, how would you describe it? 290-degree corner, I guess. So like you kind of you're going left, but then you've got to turn like really hard right back on yourself, because if you can try and cut it across. Like actually cut the corner, but there's actually a drop from when they did the resurfacing. It's probably, I don't know, about 100 mil. So it's not too bad, but it kind of feels bad in your hands, because unless you go off and over it, then I always get the feeling that I'm going to just nick it and then push the front wheel away and damage the front end somewhere, like either the wheel, the tyre, the control arm, the caster rod or something will get damaged just because of the drop. It's like a lip. But yeah, you're right. It does actually slow you down quite a bit. But usually if you're going in a group and you want to make it look cool, then the other guy will slow down a lot and go as wide as he can and go onto the concrete on the other side of the course, coming back on itself, and then you can actually line up a bit, and it works really well. Yeah, you've never done it before.
It should be interesting. No, I've never done that before. Just, I guess I've never even done I would say that I've never actually done a proper entry into turn 1, turn 2 either of long course. So my plan is to chase Jai, because I know he's one of the guys who can actually. One of the guys that I saw goes into that corner the quickest, so my plan at this next day is to try and chase Jai down the front straight into turn 1, turn 2, and actually get comfortable with that section, and then probably start conserving tyres and jump over to short course and actually practice some tandems. So I've got a bit of a game plan for that day, so that should be a bit of fun. And it looks like there's a few pro guys who I would be guessing are entering high tech that are coming down to practice at that day. So it should be an interesting day. Buddy, these clutch slip guys trying to cut into our market. So while Luke and Regan are in Japan, we might have to pre-record an episode or two. We're on the move with no data. Bloody rude, mate. Absolutely rude.
There's plenty of internet everywhere in Japan, though. Like free internet. You just have to look for it. 7-Eleven's a good spot.
Yeah, but Regan doesn't want to pay for free internet.
Well, I don't know how I can help you.
Chase McGurk. Yes, Paul, I will be following you.
Hey.
I want to follow your entries into short course.
No, there actually is free mobile data as well somewhere. There's some sort of scheme they're doing at the moment in Japan where you can get a mobile, what's it called, a Wi-Fi hotspot, filling out a survey.
Yeah.
But I don't know the details about that. I just saw it in an email. So if you go in Japan and you need, well, this is free data, but it's not at high speed. I think it's only 2 or 3 megabits per second or something like that. I'm not sure, but it is free though. But you can use that.
Yeah, I guess it's enough to try and. Okay, and long course, Paul. Relax, mate. Somebody's jumped in and said. No, Paul is somebody I will definitely be chasing, and I'm sure he may or may not run into me. Hopefully, he will.
Well, Paul's only running stock SR, so
but he's a better driver than me.
No, he's got to warm up. If you really want to keep up with him, just go out behind him on the very first session. He's not very good there.
Okay. But he's been driving a lot lately, so I would say that he's probably going to still be better than me. I guess, yeah. I guess you've been planning a Japan trip. You got that happening in August. So,
yep.
Give us a bit of a rundown on what you've got planned, considering that's been taking up most of your time lately.
Yep. So we're off to Japan. As in our team. We've got a few. So our team's going, and then we've got a few other people coming along. So we've got some guys from IDA in New South Wales. They're coming along as well, and some of Jake's mates from Queensland are also coming along as well. So it's going to be a pretty big group. Hopefully, everyone's cars run at the same time for us to get like a cool train video, because the trains on school course are really fun to do. But they can be pretty dangerous. So at the moment, we've got our flights booked. We'll be there for about 2 weeks. We'll be watching D1 as well at the end of it and heading back to Tokyo.
Which round of D1 is that?
That is the Ebisu round, which is round 6 and 7 or something like that. It's one of the later rounds anyway.
Okay.
So most of us already have cars there. I think the Queensland guys need to get a car. I think the New South Wales guys are looking to get another car as well. Summer Matsuri is the quieter Matsuris. I think people are not really interested in going during the heat of Japan, the sweltering heat. So it also is the rainy season sometimes as well. Last year we had rain every day, which is not very fun when you had to work on your car.
Well, if you didn't break your cars, you wouldn't need to work on them, mate. And if you didn't break cars, you weren't drifting.
Yeah, well, I got crashed into, which took me off the road for a little while. So,
are you going to graffiti any more cars while you're over there?
Graffiti?
Yeah,
I think it's precise art. Isn't that what you're talking about?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure in a video not all that long ago from a YouTuber with 1 million plus subscribers, I saw a Team Red Stage sticker on the back quarter panel of a JayZ X100. You can confirm or deny this claim, but I did see it on there, and it slowly got smaller and smaller as that guy's series went on, and it disappeared. So, are we going to see some more of that? Are you going to go around and target some cars with Team Red Stage stickers again?
Well, anyone could do it. Like we give them the stickers out for free. So if someone went and stickered someone's car, then it's not like I can't really control that. All I could do is just stop giving stickers to people. But it's how do I know what they're going to do with it?
Yeah, I guess we need to get some clutch kick stickers to so you can do that to see where they end up. I guess
hand it out to people to see what happens to them, and if they happen to end up in, because generally I just give them to people and they can stick it wherever they want.
Yeah, and I guess there's somebody might have mistaken it for their own car, considering white JayZ X100s. They're dime a dozen over there in Japan, so it could have been anybody's.
Yeah. So what Greg's talking about is, if no one's seen, probably most people have seen it, because even I've seen it, because someone else showed me. Was there's a YouTuber called Adam LZ or Z. I don't even know what that is. American. Anyway, so he has a car in Ebisu with a whole bunch of other people, and they all have white sedans. I think are they all JayZ X100s?
I don't know my Toyota chassis all that well, but I'm pretty sure they're all around that series.
Well,
I think they might have.
Yeah.
I think they might. Yeah, I think there might be a 90 in that group now.
Yep. Anyway, so there's a whole bunch of white sedans, and then these. So someone had stuck a Team Red Stage sticker onto the side of their car, and also one of the what would you call it? So he made these stickers for Alexi's web YouTube page, Alexi's thing. I don't know if it's YouTube or a blog anymore, because it used to be a blog and then now it's on YouTube. So he's got the YouTube channel Noriyaro. I think that's how you say it in English. And
you can say whatever language you like, mate.
Well, but people won't understand if I say it in Japanese. Anyway, so I think that's what they call it in English. And we made another sticker with his font is Bakayaro, which is you're stupid or something like that. Or I'm stupid or... And then someone had, again, I don't know who, had stuck the sticker on to Adam's car. Apparently my microphone is clipping, whatever that means.
I will ask Steve what that means.
Okay. So yeah, that's what the story is.
Yeah, so basically, guys, we're not using this episode other than just talking casually, because depending on how crappy this stream is, we don't want to have wasted an interview or a just actual proper topic on this if we end up with really bad audio and it's unusable and that sort of stuff. So don't beat us up too badly for this one. We're just trying to see. It's like I don't know. So yeah, don't beat us up too badly on this one. Last week's episode, as much as it went for hours, is one of the best feedback that we've actually had from people. People have been calling for Blake to be back on as a third host permanently. It's also been one of the ones where, a few guys from overseas, the Jenkins brothers, messaged me and said that they enjoyed the episode and thought it was a good and cool comparison, and thought it was a good episode. So yeah, I know it was a long one, but most people seem to have given us good feedback on that. So we're going to try and keep covering some more topics like that. And yeah, our stuff on YouTube is going fairly well. While we have some people here, if anybody is good with graphic design, can you hit and willing to do pro bono work? What is that? We sort of need our Clutch Kick logo cleaned up a little bit so that we can into a vector graphic so that we can use it for t-shirts and stickers easier. So if anybody's happy to help us out with that, we can probably swing you a t-shirt or something once it's all done. But yeah, EG's the one who did all our stuff, or has been doing all our stuff, but with work and trying to get cars fixed, plus trip to Japan, he's been pretty busy. So, and I've got no idea on how to do this vector graphic stuff. Generally, I just pay people. But considering the moment, it's just for the fun of it. If anybody can help us out with that, please let us know, and we'll try and work something out from there.
Okay. I've tried to adjust the audio a little bit for Steve. Apparently, he was saying that it was topping out, so I think
Steve's speakers just suck. I've
turned Greg down a little bit. I'm going to turn myself down a little bit as well.
Fucking rudeness, mate. Why do I get turned down? Well, if you ask Warwick Hill, he just wants me switched off.
Oh, yeah, I can do that as well. That's easy. So, just see how this audio goes. And, so do we have any other questions or topics? I'm not too sure what else to talk about. Anything interesting happened drift-wise this week?
Michael Solomon said that I need a better camera.
It's not the camera. We have the same camera.
Yeah.
So it's not the issue with the camera, it's the issue with our internet. So because even I think Greg doesn't have NBN either, do you?
No.
So if I was
live in the middle of Sydney and you still don't have NBN.
And if I was to use my home internet, then I would also look like Greg.
No, I'll probably look even worse because you're then also you're the one. So EG's the one with the connection that's uploading. So it would be even worse by the time it got to there. So look, I know you want to look at me, Michael, because I do have that gorgeous face, but you just sort of have to live with my crappy face for now.
Okay.
Some FD drift news, as Mitch is saying in the live chat, and we chatted a little bit. Josh Robinson from Victoria, who drives the Holden Maloo Ute over in the US and drove one in Australia, announced yesterday when he was on Maximum Driftcast that he would only be driving Pro 2 after a bit of a breach of contract with one of his sponsors. So the plan was originally that he was supposed to drive all of the Pro 1 season, but it's now restricted down to just Pro 2. So my understanding is that he was now working to do some modifications to the car to cut some weight out of it because he's allowed to, because he's only going to be running a 255 tyre. So
it's interesting what they do there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because so at FD they have tires. The tire size reflects the weight of the car, so people try and make the car heavier so they can get a bigger tire.
Well, Pro 2's even different to that. So Pro 2 is a maximum 255 across the board, and a minimum weight requirement. So it doesn't, and they're allowed to run. So basically, you can build whatever car you want for Pro 2, but it must be at a minimum weight, and you can use more ballast than you can in, I think, Pro 1 you can only use like 50 pounds of ballast, and in Pro 2 you can use more ballast than that to get the car up to weight, and everybody's on a 255, so pretty sure Josh has tried to cut more weight out of the car to make him more competitive with sort of the S chassis and all that sort of stuff that are in that class. And then once you go up into Pro, the guys are a little bit more open with the tires. The weight class does reflect the tire size more, and sort of you guys in your average weighted S chassis I think are normally running on a 295, which is an absolutely giant tire, and it's huge. There was an interview as well with Odie Bakshish, who runs Field Suspension over there, and he was saying that on his demo car, he's working on cutting out a whole bunch of weight from his demo car to see if his FD car will be competitive on a smaller tire, therefore, just being more reliable. So
saying that, Greg's your head has a heat lamp on it.
It basically does have a heat lamp on it. I can turn that light off, but that's probably really dark now.
Yeah, it is. You
I
need
need
to
to like.
You need to get diffuser. Check out my diffuser.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got a napkin here. I'll just like fill up in front of it. No, rally round 2 isn't till. Will this be available later? Yes, it will be available later. Rally round 2, 19th to 20th of May. So no, it's not that weekend. What are people giving us? Yep, Mitch already said.
Yeah, I'm not getting comments as quick as Greg is for some reason.
Yeah, because I don't like you.
I mean, I'm not seeing them. That's what I'm saying.
Mitch, yes, we've announced that round 2 of Vic Drift is in 2 weekends' time. Long Beach is also that weekend. The 7th of April is the start of FD, and Rally is the 19th and 20th of May. So that's a fair bit off. But I think they've got a Matsuri coming up there, so they're open 2-day practice basically. Yeah, any comments, anything like that, just keep throwing them at us. I think we lose the comments once they sort of come up, so I've got to keep an eye on that.
Oh, really? I can see all the comments. It's just that they come up for me really slowly.
Fair enough. Yeah, I've just got to open on the regular page.
Oh, okay. So I've just turned down Greg a little bit more for some other guys complaining about Greg's voice.
When was my last haircut? My last haircut was before Mount Gambier, I think, or just before Queensland. But I have Hung's wedding.
I don't think
next weekend.
Talking about up here.
No, then that's getting a bit personal there, mate. But Hung's wedding's next weekend, so I'm waiting for a haircut. Just before that, High Tech Series starts in May. We spoke about that a little bit earlier, but not exactly. High Tech first round, as far as I'm aware, is 2 weekends before DCA Tassie. 4th of May is the first round of the High Tech Series.
I do have my screen at full screen. I think it's because I've got the... That's really weird, because I've got the live stream video up and it's not bringing up the comments. Oh, I know why, because I think I'm watching the delay. Oh, that still doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I'm watching the delay too, but...
It's weird.
Yeah, we got to. I think we might end up doing what a Maximum Drift cast does, and try and get questions and comments prior to an episode, and then we sort of work through it. But this was a last minute decision.
I think they actually get some through it because they read through it as well, and then they got comments.
They've only got
yeah,
but they've also got number one, better internet. Number two, most of their guys are all in one room or hooked into like a master server, and then there's like 1 or 2 guys called in, so it's probably a little bit better than our shitty little setup we've got going on. But yes.
Yeah. I don't know why the comments are slow for me, but they seem to be coming up fine for Greg. But it doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure it's just my end. Sean has a good thing, I think, or an interesting question.
Who?
Sean Power.
I can't see it.
You can't see it? Well, that's weird. Okay. It's fuck, marry, kill DCA national drivers.
Ooh. Okay.
I'm going to avoid this.
Why?
Because people might say it's favoritism.
Yeah, but you can just say kill me then.
No, that's still favoritism. Someone else could deserve to be killed. Actually, who DCA national drivers?
So let's say people have done 2 or more rounds in the last... No, let's say 3 or more rounds in the last 12 months.
People are consistent. That's all.
Yeah. I would probably... I'd have to sleep with Blake.
I don't think you actually need to opt for that one. Pick someone that you don't actually have to, that you actually have to try.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
Blake's easy.
Oh, okay. So you're telling me it's got to be somebody that's not so easy?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Now I'm not sure. Who would I marry? It'd have to be somebody's got a bigger program going, because maybe they can set me up with a car. Oh,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Someone that could actually support my drifting as well.
Yeah, I'm marrying Mitch Doyle.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Mate, he's got 2 cars. We could ride off into the sunset together.
Who would I kill?
Who would I want to? Yeah, and who would I? I'm not sure who I'd kill. Who do I want to kill? I was going to say I'd kill Mitch Doyle if I had to keep going against him like I did at Mount Gambier last year.
It'd be Brody or Blake, because they keep sucking at qualifying, and they get matched up against each other. Yeah, so probably both of them.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Okay.
Who would I? I'm not sure who I'd kill. I'm trying to think who I'd actually kill. Far out. No, this is not that easy. That's not that easy. I'd probably kill myself, because I seem to always break stuff. So maybe myself's an easier option with that. And then I'm not allowed to sleep with Blake because Blake's too easy. I guess if you want to sleep with success, you just have to sleep with Matt Harvey.
Free tires, yeah, that's good. You can just keep driving as long as your car doesn't break down.
No, it's just a claim to fame that you got to sleep with Matt Harvey. That's it. Like, I don't know. Seems like an easier option, but yeah. Come on, Niji, you got to give us more than that. You're laying it all on
me. Okay, so if it's married, then it'd be someone that could support drifting. So I think because you don't have to sleep with the person you marry, but they just need to fund you. I don't know. I'm not sure. So who would have the most money? It'd probably be Doyle, wouldn't it?
Oh, and see, now we're getting into things that we probably need to be careful.
Yeah, okay. All right. And if it's to fuck someone, it would probably be the most feminine, I guess.
Oh, see, now you're not playing fair on that one. So pick your most feminine then.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think.
That's just rude. So now whoever you choose is going to feel bad.
I know, because they're like a girl. Unless they are a girl. We had any female drivers? We haven't had female drivers in a while, have we?
We had. Oh, you weren't there. What was her name? Kaylee, something like that. It was like a chameleon coloured, like purple, greeny coloured car in a Calder. Sadly, that car went home looking a little bit sad, but she got out there and just sent it with all the guys, so that was pretty good. We had a girl, the girl in Tassie, the one with the...
And Sam.
Yeah, Lucy. Yeah, we've got plenty of girls.
I probably shouldn't say any of those, actually, because they all have partners. I don't want to get bashed when I'm out of town.
Oh, come on. Nah, and what are you picking girls for, mate? What are we getting from here? We're seeing most of them, Steve. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Lucy's in here.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Oh, okay. I think we just dropped one viewer because she's like, well, I'm getting out of here. Wait from that guy.
Oh, Lucy's fun. So I remember, I think she saw me once in, I can't remember if it's South Australia or Victoria. And she spoke Japanese to me, but I just heard, when I first heard it, it was just, I just didn't realize. It took me a couple of seconds. I was still kind of stunned. Why don't I kill? Why is Greg not your option? Your kill option? No, I need a co-host.
No, it's because you went. No, it's because you went silent for a while.
I'm just
so they're like,
seeing
oh, it's
the
awkward.
comments now. That's all.
Yeah.
Sheena's Blaken. No, who cares about Sean? Beard Rash. Gerg likes the sensitive types. Language man, log dog. Greg, do you plan on ever going overseas to drive at events, say D1NZ? I think he does.
Nah, at the moment I'm a little bit more. Oh no, I enjoyed QR Matsuri too much, and now I enjoy the DCA events, and I'm enjoying just the driving events. So all I want to do is just get out and drive a little bit more. I'm honestly not too fussed on the comp stuff. I'm pretty busy with work at the moment as well, so there's a lot of time gone with that. So maybe eventually, at one stage I was going to see where it all took me, but I guess I'm busier now than I expected, and I'm just enjoying hanging out with these idiots and driving as much as possible. And I think there's a lot more. If that was to ever be a thing where I wanted to put enough energy into it, I want to be a way better driver than I am now before I would bother putting that much time and energy into a program to try and do that. So yeah, maybe one day, but I would not say in the next 4 years. It would definitely be a way more long-term thing than that. So a DCA stuff included, or maybe we should do like a judge. I get to do a judge's kill, sleep with, or marry.
Or avoiding swearing, yeah. Okay. I think if given the opportunity, you'd probably go to D1NZ. That's what I reckon. If someone offered you a car and flights and everything.
Oh yeah, look, if that was the case, like if it was like, oh, here we're a team, and if it was like just a straight up, here you don't have to do anything other than show up and drive, yeah, for sure. Like you'd be an idiot not to take that opportunity. And then if it was more of a case of me having to try and make a program work, like 95% of pro drift guys are around the world, who are sort of running their own teams and doing a lot of that legwork themselves, then yeah, I wouldn't be pushing myself to do that just yet. I don't think I'm a good enough driver for that to justify the amount of work that it takes to make that all happen. So yeah, definitely not something just yet.
We can make you a better driver. You just have to come down to Canberra to do some training.
Yeah, eventually I will get a registered car so I can go do some street lamp inspections in Canberra.
You don't even need a registered car. Don't get caught.
This is too much incrimination stuff on live.
Okay.
Ever planning on joining the Vic Drift Championship? Not at this stage, because yeah, it's far away from home for me, and unless maybe once I have a car that's reliable enough that I can trust it to sort of live down in Melbourne almost for a year, and all I had to do was drive in and fly in, fly out to get to and from events, then there's a good chance that Vic Drift is something I would really enjoy doing, considering it's so many different layouts on fairly close tracks to each other or at the same track. So it's probably the premier state series when it comes to that side of things.
Why not just get an AU?
E.g., just get an AU? Vic Drift's a little bit more. No, Vic Drift's a little bit more strict. You've got to run a cage and do all that sort of stuff.
Oh,
so
that's right. Yeah, they've got that rule, don't they? You just get a cage for AU.
Yeah, and you just got to make sure that you weld your side intrusion bars in the middle point so that when people T-bone you
That was crazy.
Okay,
what's it say? What's with the red cup?
Okay,
so the red cup is because I am very lazy. So what I do is I buy it. I think it's $250 from Costco, and I'm going to say not lazy, but I spend most of my time doing all the car drift stuff, so I don't have time to wash my cups. I'm not lazy, I'm just smart. Also, when you wash a cup, it costs, water and detergent. So if I do this, all I do is just throw it in the bin. That's it. There you go.
You mean you throw it in the recycling?
Yes, I do actually. I don't even know if you're allowed to or not.
Yeah. Turn the cup over. I'm pretty sure it's got a recycling symbol on the bottom of it. But maybe don't do it while it's
over. I'll look underneath it. Yeah, it does actually. Yeah, so I put it in recycling. I actually did put it in recycling.
And Mitch's the real Mitch Sanders is offering to store my car down in Melbourne. But again, unless it finishes an event running, which has been the first time that's happened is QR, then it's a bit hard to leave it down there unless somebody's going to magically fix it for me. So, but yes, Vic Drift is something I would like to get down to, especially if we'll wait and see what happens with drifting in New South Wales, I guess. I guess while we're talking about drifting in New South Wales, the list for Bring the Bash 3 came out, and
yeah, that's right. That was cool. There's some interesting people on there that I didn't expect to see.
Yeah, look, well, my understanding, and if Jai and Chev at some stage are happy to come on, especially leading into the event, I know both those guys are pushing pretty hard to make things happen. And in saying that, there is a change.org petition going around. The last time that these guys did a petition for Kembla Grange, it fell flat on its face, and if that petition actually had more signatures on it, they may have actually got that passed through council to allow drifting on that track. Now they're pushing it uphill again to try and make things happen, but if you do see that one come up, and we may post it we'll share it on our page, and we'll put it in the link if this makes it onto YouTube. If you could get on there and share it and sign the thing, that would make a big difference. And yeah, even if you're not from New South Wales, please jump on and sign it, because another track up here can only be a good thing for the sport. So yeah, they had that list come out, and yeah, a few people are upset. And
there's a few. I saw some posts of some upset people. So
yeah, and look, my understanding from those guys is it's an event that they put on for their mates. They do all the legwork, they take all the risk, they put all the money up front. So they chose a list of guys who have either supported the events in the past, or are close mates with them, or guys that they've driven with in Japan or locally before. So that's sort of where the list has come from. And Jesus, when you're trying to cut the list down to 60,
180 applicants or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, so we'll get them on at some stage potentially to speak about the event. But yeah, those guys did a good job cutting it down to those numbers, and it is what it is. And from my understanding and speaking to those guys, that the track is looking at running future drift events on its own. So that can only be a good thing as well. And I think having good, reliable guys who are going to keep all four on the track is good for that first event. So we'll see what comes out of that. But yeah, the saltiness was funny.
Who has the most amount of trophies? Probably, if we're talking about trophies in general, probably Greg.
Who said trophies?
Jake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But drift trophies, I think that would be
you. Yeah, behind you, mate.
So, and that's these two here, which you can't see. Oh, that one very covered in dust, and this one. This is probably one of the cool ones as well. Actually, that's going to come out reversed. Otherwise, probably Greg has way more trophies in general. Salt intensifies.
Some of these questions are good.
Really? Hang on. What's in the cup? We know you ain't washed it. No, well, this is a fresh cup. The inside is ice and orange juice. That's it.
So do you basically just keep using them until they get moldy, or
no?
You just chuck them out after one use?
Probably one day. So So today this is a new cup I had. When I got home, this is a cup of orange juice I had when I got home, and after I finish, I'm probably going to put some water in it, and then after that, it will just go in the bin.
Sean Powell. I don't think I've met Sean before, have I?
You would have met him at Calder because he was covering for me while I was in Vanuatu.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, I think I know who. I hear you have WiseFab. Question: have you hit lock stops on it while in drift? There seems to be many guys with big lock in Australia, and that just disappeared. Who don't use it. I have maxed it out, and the car just crab walks once you're on max lock on lock stops with Wise Fab. Actually, at QR Matsuri, I came through turn 6 in the wet, and I dropped the wheels onto the ripple strip, and I basically crab walked a good 100 meters down the track, and there was dirt flicking off the front wheel through the windows. At me and Russell going down the front straight, so that was pretty funny. So yes, I have been on lock stops, but the car just acts all funny.
What's your favourite
Nick,
hot cross bun? No, hang on here. We'll just traditional, no fruit, or choc chip. I go choc chip. I had one today.
Yeah, I'd go choc chip or no fruit.
I'm so big.
Yeah, I would go choc chip or no fruit. I'm not a huge fan of sultanas. Then Nick asked how pro is Kyle from Queensland, who just won DCA. He's not pro at all. He's a nice, clean Queensland-built car. He's got, if anybody's seen it, it's a pewter coloured S15 with the full racing line body kit from Origin. And yeah, the guy's just been driving heaps, I'm pretty sure, at Archie, and just been killing it. Though when I dipped early from QR Matsuri and went over to Archie, those guys aren't afraid to send it. There's a lot of peer pressure that seems to go down at Archie, and guys do wild things, and there were some huge trains and stuff going on. The local guys, I'm probably not going to put my entry into Cash Kings, because I think the local guys are probably going to have a field day with most of the guys, unless we're talking.
No,
and unless we're
everyone's got
talking,
a chance.
Unless we're talking guys like your Dale Campaigns, Matt Harveys, Blake, guys like that, then it's going to be a battle between Australia's top guys and the locals, because I'm a dude who doesn't really stand a chance with some of that stuff.
There's still like a lot of people that you probably don't know that probably don't even do comps that would do well there if they actually did a comp. So
yeah, but this is my point. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm talking Australia's top drivers, or the locals would be the ones who do well. I'm somebody like me is just a mediocre dude who's sort of in the middle to bottom end of Australia's pro drifting, whatever, blah 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 you want to call it. You've probably got more questions than me still on your screen.
Hang on. Greg only hits bump stop when he's doing full rear entries. Which one of you two is Big Spoon?
Which one of us is Big Spoon? I would say EG's probably the Big Spoon.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing as well.
Come on. I come from a figure skating background. I'm the little spoon.
Mad Mike at F1. Not sure if it was covered at the start of the show. I didn't watch the whole clip, actually. So did you see that? Mad Mike at F1. Apparently it was a 3-minute video and they had 6 minutes to film it or something. Did you see that?
Yeah, he basically did 2 laps. So as far as I'm aware, what they did was they sent him out to sight the track, and he drifted most of it. And as he came around, they called him in and basically said, all right, let's get this done. Shoved Daniel in the car, and they just sent him for the next lap.
Yeah, and that was it.
That's what they did.
And that's the whole time, and they made a video out of it.
Yeah, the funniest part is, sitting there reading comments, the number of people who had no idea who were commenting, there's no way that's Dan Ricciardo in that car, because there's no way liability insurance and all that would let him do that the weekend of the first round of the season, blah, 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 whatever. If you put it on a screen any bigger than your phone, you can see that dude's huge dopey smile coming through the visor the whole way through that lap. You know that's him. So by his reaction, he was enjoying it. But I thought it was interesting that people were saying it's boring, but it's a Formula One track. Even the V8 supercars around that track look fairly boring with how wide it is. And
F1 tracks are designed to be kind of opposite to what I'd like as a drift track, where there's a long straight and it's a sharp turn, then it opens up to a sweeper. I think that's the way that F1's predominantly designed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agree,
yeah, 100%. Like,
okay.
And yeah, you'd have to be for a Formula One track to work as a drift track. You'd basically have to be drifting a Formula One style car that's set up for drifting. Something with ridiculous power, ridiculous grip, all that sort of stuff that can be drifted at 300 kilometers an hour or 250 kilometers an hour consistently. So most of those aren't sort of set up for that. Who's my arch nemesis of drift?
Where do you even see that? Must be
It's
way
from
further
Sean
down.
again. Arch nemesis of drift in Australia. Oh well, JayZ my arch nemesis. He spun out in the final battle of our battle at round 2 of Super Drift last year, and I beat him off the back of that. So I would say that JayZ my arch nemesis at the moment, and we'll have some practice battles down at Wakefield and try and sort that out. But I would say at this stage I don't necessarily have an arch nemesis on the track. A few people don't like me because I'm a little bit more outspoken with trying to push drifting and help push drifting in what some of us feel is the right direction in this country. So I'm not too upset by people being upset by that. But I would say on the track at this stage I'm not good enough to have an arch nemesis. So I don't. Yeah, I don't think I really have one.
Steve Thorne says, will either of you get an AU Falcon to drift? Or in Easy's case, another one. I'd get one if it was cheap enough and I had space. And it was manual this time, not auto. It was fun driving auto drifting, but I think manual will be the next step.
I drive automatic every day. I would stick to a manual for drifting. Would I get an AU? Yeah, if I had the space and actual tracks to go and drive at properly rather than just the figure 8, then yeah, for sure.
The one thing I want to do with a Falcon, because I think it'll work, but I'm not sure, is put a JZX lock kit in the front of a Falcon, because it looks so similar. Like, you'd probably need to modify a few things, but I think it's possible to actually put the lock kit in there and make it work.
Yeah, anything can work. There was a dude over in WA that came up recently I think it had a VY Commodore, and he had put S chassis McPherson struts and all that in the front and was running S chassis Wise Fab. So anything's possible.
Steve Pembury says, is there a future of front wheel drive in competitive drift?
I don't believe so. Maybe in a different style of competition, and I guess I don't know. I don't think it really suits many of our tracks here, so that would be a difficult one.
No, I don't think
anyway.
So. I don't think it suits many of the tracks here. Could you do competitive drifting in front wheel drive? Yes. Probably not here. I think there's issues with insurance as well. I think I heard from other organisers that there is the definition of drifting is by a rear wheel drive car. So if you take a front wheel drive car, then you're not covered by insurance, and that's a big no-no. But if there was, it'd probably be easier if to organise in that sort of sense a front wheel drive only drifting competition. But I don't think there's a problem with front wheel drive drifting with rear wheel drive. You just have to have they have to meet the criteria. So if they can't, they're going to get kicked out. As long as they understand that and not have a cry about not progressing into battles or getting knocked out, then that's the way it is. So, but I guess
like any driving really, if the driver sucks at what they do, they're going to be dangerous, and if they're good at what they do, they're going to be competitive. That's just the way it is. It's got nothing to do with the car that they're in. It just comes down to how skilled that driver is with the car that they're driving. So,
yep.
Do you still have Mitch's question there?
Mitch Sanders?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mitch Sanders asked, discuss cash king style of event. Not the money side of it, but the battle call-outs and draw for battles. What's your opinion? It's my favourite event last year, and I'm keen for the next one.
Yeah, I think the way it's laid out is cool. I think that could almost be. I guess it's probably not so great from a sponsorship point of view because it's not a structured competition like I think most sponsors are looking for. But as one-offs or as just sort of cool random fun events, it's definitely I think a better way of doing it. You bring proper interaction between drivers to create drama. Similar to your Street Outlaws and all that sort of stuff, where you see the personal side of the personalities and the personal vendettas drivers have towards each other going on. So I think that's cool Last year, the first round it was people were a little bit soft with wanting to do call-outs, and then a few people got clever with their call-outs. So you could see who was there to win and who was there to sort of didn't want to be seen as being there to win.
Are you talking about Blake?
No, not even just Blake. Blake was clever. I thought Blake should have gone for somebody who was potentially easy pickings, but he ended up sort of sitting back a little bit and got really lucky. And there was only 31 cars in the end, and he got lucky and managed to pull the Joker out of the pack and didn't have to verse anybody in the first round. But again, huge risk, because if he had pulled the wrong person out, he could have been knocked out that first round. But ideally, you wouldn't have that situation. So yeah, you sort of see guys going for easy pickings and all that sort of stuff. But again, you've got to accept the call out too, so you can make matchups before you even get there. So I think the Cash Kings thing, yeah, and I guess it's the fastest I've ever seen Blake run in his life. He ran over there to do a call out in the top 4 because he wanted to go against who he thought out of those drivers was going to be the easiest. So he could be the first driver there. And yeah, I've never seen Blake move so fast in his life. I was surprised he was able to drive after it. So, no, definitely some drama. So if I'm not entered in that event this year, I will definitely still be sticking around to watch because, yeah, as a drift fan, that is probably the coolest layout of an event. And look, the money is what I think draws people into, I guess is what draws people to even take the risk to jump in and do it.
And yeah, it kind of makes the driving cooler as well. Like, they push so much harder. It shouldn't. Yeah, I can understand the money is a big draw card, but it makes the driving so much cooler because everyone's trying so hard to win that money.
Yeah, but I guess the money is a reason to drive hard because, hey, I might bin my car, but I might also win $10,000 that will pay for more than just a new shell or whatever. Where if you go to a random event, say like a Gatton, or if Mount Gambier wasn't a competition, you sort of, what's the justification for plowing your car into a wall or going totally retarded with tandems where you can go do the same thing somewhere safer where the only variable is the other cars, and that's where you're going to cause your damage, not walls that don't move and spit you back out in the middle of tracks. So something like that is definitely cool.
Okay. Go just quickly. Biggest backy battle, I think, and someone else.
Yeah, and I don't know if he was talking about us doing it, and I ain't doing backies because I'm wise fab. I don't think he's great for backies, and I've got it set up. I've got it, yeah, but I got it. Yeah, I got it set up horrible. So I've got some Ackerman spaces coming. So hopefully that will sort that out.
My mic isn't. My mic is actually a. It's on a what's it called? The document reader stand. I think. Oh no, I chucked out the other end. So it's a document reader the stand would go on top of this, on the end of this. So Sean Power says, e.g., who pays the least, I think, for bribes, or who's the driver you dislike the most to watch? Seeing I don't drive anymore. Who I dislike least to watch is. Are you putting your hands up?
Yeah, because you're just mean to me.
Okay, yeah. So I don't like. Well, it annoys. Well, Greg annoys me in different ways. Same with. There's so many people that I just don't like watching sometimes because they're just so irritating because they could be so much better, but they just don't. Anyone specific who I don't like watching? I find who's that? Remember that guy from Queensland? I think his name's Nick in the Ute. The young guy.
Oh, Nick Coulson.
Nick Coulson. Yeah, he's boring. His driving is really boring. I don't know. I don't get excited by it.
Yeah, okay. Elaborate a little bit. That way, if this gets back, it's like there's a justification. It's not just it's boring. So you've given me reasons before, so
yeah. There's not really an emotion to it. Like I don't even know how he progresses because to me, when I watch it, he puts his foot down, he gets fast, he just sort of turns the steering wheel, pulls a handbrake, and just sort of like slows down around the corner. And then he gets on the gas, and there's like the angle's so there's no impact. It doesn't really snap to angle. There's no sort of emphasis to show how cool he is driving. And then you look at the in-car stuff, and that just makes it like you watch it, and he's just one hand on the steering wheel, one hand on the handbrake. Well, he changes gears up into whatever, and then one hand, and then he just sort of turns, handbrakes, gets on the power, and that's it, and then steers the other way. Yeah. Anyway, next question. I think this one's to you, Troy Jenkins. Greg, what is the correct way forward in your eyes for drifting in Australia, and why? That's actually a proper question, I think.
Yeah, and I think we covered it a little bit in the last episode, but probably not all that much. I think at this stage, and needs to be a more extended answer, but I think Australia needs to take its time to find its feet again. And I think we're almost where New Zealand was, I would say, more than 6 years ago. Still, there's going to be a heap of work that has to be done, and drivers have to sort of take a little bit more responsibility for the scene growing and finding its feet again. I think just motorsport in general in Australia has taken a bit of a step backwards. Series like Shannon's Nationals used to have huge number of entries and things like that, but people seem to be a little bit more targeted with their motorsport now. They're building cars for things like World Time Attack Challenge or for like the Bathurst 6-hour, Bathurst 12-hour, and sort of sticking to those sort of events. So motorsport in general here is going fairly quiet, and I think part of it is just we have a public hatred for cars, really. Well, it's just, yeah, I don't know. We're a country of followers, so as soon as people get on the bandwagon, similar to all this cricket drama going on, as soon as it's seen as politically correct to say that you hate something, everybody hates it, and I think that's how people feel about cars and car enthusiasts and people just doing dumb shit in general. So I think, yeah, a series like DCA is a good thing at the moment because it means that I guess it's financially viable to do. It'll be interesting to see what happens with high tech, to see where the numbers end up, because the Pro Series running a 265 semi does start to get expensive really quickly, and without proper sponsorship or a job that pays good money, it's going to be hard. So, yeah, that's definitely one for. Do you have more of the questions, EG? Because mine keep bumping up, and I only have 5 on a page at a time.
Yeah, that's okay. Sorry, it dropped out a little bit because I bought my mobile phone. But anyway, next question. Also from Sean Power, EG, what driver that is out of DCA that would love to see you back, miss seeing? Is anyone actually out?
Yeah, like you got Tom Sabo isn't competing anymore
at all?
Oh, it doesn't seem like it, I guess, yeah. Okay. Are we talking just DCA guys or just guys in general?
No, I said out of DCA because
okay.
There's people that aren't in it at the moment, but I think they're taking a break, but I'm not sure if they'll come back. So if you're...
Brody Moore
is cool. Like I was thinking Sabo as well, but all for different reasons. So there's some other guys that I'd like to see at DCA, but they're not in. Anyway, we'll just go. So I'm trying to keep up with the questions. Mitch Sanders says, if you're there to watch, I'll probably try to get commentary. Yeah. There's Sean Protown Nielsen says to Greg, which 3 drivers do you think will fill the DCA World Time Attack spots?
Well, I guess at this stage I'd be saying it'll be Matt Harvey, Dale Campaign, and third. Who's going to... Who was on the podium at... I can't remember who was on the podium at... Oh, it'll be Daniel Shoulders, I would imagine. I think he's doing the trip to Tassie, and if he does the trip to Queensland, guy can drive. Dark horse for sure. Most people around the country probably don't have much of an idea on who he is, but I took huge note of him at Mount Gambier last year, sick driver, willing to risk it all. So
I think he's going to find Tasmania tough, though. Like,
you think? I think the guy's just got a natural ability.
He's
good. He just looks sick.
But I hope Brody enters the next one.
But look, at the end of the day...
then there's also Matt Harvey as well. And... I keep forgetting names. Dale campaign. So it's going to get tough for him.
Well, and it's the fact that those guys are already filling the top 3 spots. And Jackson Snell, if he goes down, but again, he's driving a fairly basic car where the top 3 guys have got their stuff sort of a little bit more developed and on point. Lucy just said, he's doing all rounds. So it would not surprise me to see him stay in the top 3 for the rest of the season. Those guys are all sick drivers.
Steve Pembry says, pet hate about drifters.
Shitty attitudes.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Honestly, attitude is the thing that kills me the most. I guess, are we talking drifters in Australia or drifters worldwide in general? It just, look, I think when you go to any sort of motorsport event, most circuit races and stuff like that will clean up after themselves properly. And I guess they tend to not have as many mechanicals as we do, but you leave an event after, I guess we were officiating, I know you've been officiating for years, so you tend to be there after the event sort of all finished, and you see the amount of crap that's left behind, and that's sort of an entitled attitude from drivers and stuff like that. I think we have great drivers here, so there's not too many pet hates that I have from a driving standpoint or anything like that. And I think everybody's pretty respectful when it comes to on-track behaviour, but off-track behaviour tends to be a bit shitty.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with that. Let's see.
Michael asked about freestyle events, but I lost that one.
So Michael Solomon, what are your thoughts on pure freestyle comp? Drivers pick who they want to battle, what line or clipping points they want to run for each battle. That sounds like something that they've done or they're doing at JDMX Park. I think I don't know if Stewie created the thread or he commented about it, but I saw something similar along those lines. I think that'd be interesting. But yeah, when I kind of read it a bit differently, and then when I read the comments a bit further, they said that they would pick the clips as at the start of the battle. But yeah, so I thought a freestyle would be well, initially when I heard what about a freestyle comp, I thought it'd be like a single car on JDMX Park that just try to do the sickest run they could, like just to show it off just by themselves. So if either it meant running the wall or doing like a really big entry or something like that, then that was a freestyle comp. That's what I saw it as. But then as the comments got filled out a bit more, where it says you're actually in a battle, then I imagined that all you have to do is the lead car would maintain drifting while the chase car would just try and keep up somehow. Then there was talks about line and clipping points. So it's not. It's kind of. It just kind of means that it becomes an instant battle, I guess. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you have a discussion. These are the clips, and go. That's it. So it's like no qualifying battle kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess where I think the idea was born from was over in the Texas Lone Star Series. They run around called Pinball, and they've got a course laid out on a big car park basically, and the drivers can drive anywhere they like through multiple like they have like little sections sort of made, and you can sort of lead a car with big power and big angle through like almost a first gear section and do all this sort of stuff to try and throw off the chase car, and that's sort of what the aim is with that. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm sort of a more, I guess from my background in sport, you give me a criteria, I'm doing my best to try and hit that criteria every time, and I've got one opportunity to do it, and that's sort of what what gives me the buzz when it comes to drifting is knowing that I've got to do everything I possibly can in that first instance. I think those sort of events are cool, but I'm just not sure if you can put a proper value on them from a judged point of view. I think it can be super cool, and giving people the freedom to just go out and do that is cool, but I'm just not sure how you would necessarily judge that, or even if you did, you just sort of, hey, we have prizes at the end of the day, we're not actually going to give it a score. It's just going to be who did the sickest run sort of thing, and like what gave you as a judge or whoever's picking it, that best sort of vibe or whatever. So I think that sort of stuff needs a lot of work to try and work out how to actually make it work and be sort of fair.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see for me. I'd like to look at one before making an opinion or forming an opinion. Already sold the S14. He won't have a car to drive the Tassie or DCA round. So,
your dream is gone. I think the 86 is getting something fancier. Is it getting a rotary or something?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a video. The videos are going to be cool. Videos are cool. I think the car's going to be cool. Ash Brady has 86 getting rebuilt. See. Pembury said, why do you think Australia, officials, track owners, general public, has such a different perspective attitude towards drifting compared to Europe and the US?
I think it goes back to the entitlement thing, really. We don't get a good rap from the media in the first place, and then we sort of show that the media is correct by being a pack of douches a lot of the time, really. A lot of the tracks where the drivers are respectful, and places like Tassie, the only 2 racetracks in Tasmania are happy and willing to have those guys there, and one of those tracks hosts V8 supercars. They don't have drama down there. And yeah, to me, you'd think of all the places in the country where people might get a little bit more loose and a little bit more crazy, which would be Tassie. They have no dramas at all with their... I'm sure there are dramas, but guys are happy to have them. So to me, I sort of look... Can't be like Tasmania. And stop playing with your phone, mate. Your buddy's ruining the internet connection.
I know. I'm almost out of data. I think I've probably half an hour, and then we'll have to kill it.
Yeah, we'll probably kill it before then anyway. But yeah, look, tracks like Luddenham, people were having a whinge because there was a picture showed up with skid marks on it, and then people jump onto the Facebook page and ridicule the track for running things on there that they said they wouldn't run, but at the end of the day, it's their facility to do whatever the hell they want to do with it. And so, yeah, I think just from we've got to clean up our attitude, and the more professional we start to be seen as, and I'm not talking professional like everybody has to show up with sponsors and all this sort of stuff, but just clean cars that actually pass scrutineering the first time, not trying to hope that they can get through with a torn seatbelt and all this sort of stuff. So,
yeah, I think so. I think is the perception that's been created by the media towards drifters, and then also the drifters that have added to it, and the non-drifters that have added to it as well, because those burnouts that you see in the street, like car parts, that's not drifting, that's just burnout. So don't call it drifting.
And I think people just have to, if they know that somebody has that opinion, take the time to talk to them and show them what they do and what it's really about and all that sort of stuff. So rather than being like, no, that's just crap, that's whatever, or getting an attitude about it, just demonstrate and show that, look, there are tracks in the country that are still willing to have people on it. So that's an open door to the fact that, track owners are potentially happy to have them. But again, the right attitude and right approach.
Mitch Sanders, the real Mitch Sanders, has a good question. What episode of Initial D is Gerg up to? Don't say 13.
Mitch, currently I hate you. Wherever I was last week.
Oh, no, we have to cut you off.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm no longer the host of this show. Once Blaken's back in the country, he's hosting, and I'm out. Mate, I haven't had time to do anything lately. I'm ready to bloody neck myself. So this time yesterday, I'd been asleep for half an hour already. So.
Yes, Tracy Grimshaw is part of it, but a lot of the media, as well as all the other people posting on YouTube, Facebook, social media, whatever, saying that their burnouts are drifting, or when they describe any sort of crappy driving, I don't know.
Any burnout with counter steer being classified as drifting is just that's what kills me the most. Like, you're still in first gear just because you counter steered. It's more because you're going to spin out, so you're counter steering. So it's really not, that impressive.
So Sean Power, most of the questions tonight. Both guys, all-time favorite drivers, Japan, US, Oz, just number one, just one favorite driver.
Oh, see that? That's a tough question. That's a tough question.
If I had to pick one.
See, I'm going to get told I suck dick if I say the one that I really want to say, so...
Well, his dick are going to suck.
Hands down for... It's more the fact that I've seen him drive everything. I would say Luke Fink would have to be the best driver that I've seen, because I've been able to see him jump into anything, and look, he jumped into my car. I didn't think he'd fit, and then he gave me some good feedback, told me how much my car sucked, and then even Tasmania, when I was in loading the car up to head back to the boat, and I heard Dale Campaign's car come down the front straight, and there was a whole bunch of weird blips of the throttle and all this sort of stuff going on. And I'm like, man, that's not Dale driving that car. And I quickly ran to the fence, and there's Luke absolutely sending it first lap in Dale's car. And he's done that in numerous cars.
You also missed when he took Pembury's car first lap out, and he put in absolutely backwards when Steve couldn't do it the whole weekend. Were you there? I don't think you were there.
No, I wasn't there.
Yeah, and I have to keep reminding Steve about that Luke drives his car better than he does.
Yeah, so look, that's why I have to say Luke. I haven't seen other drivers drive that many things, and I don't think some of those drivers drive as many cars as Luke does. So I would have to say Luke. So who's yours, EG?
Yeah, I'm not really sure, because I would put... Like, I never really picked one. I'd pick one from each sort of, I guess, area. So
yeah, I was going to do the same too, but he said one.
I know, just number one. So that's why it makes it hard. So I'm trying to compare up the different countries and the drivers. So in the US, it would be, it would be the Irish guy, James Dean. Yeah, but he's not from the US. But there's not really just trying to compare their abilities together. It's
my
really
thing
hard.
with him is, and that's why I leant towards Luke, is the James Dean thing is he's really good in the chassis he's used to, but we haven't seen what else he drives.
Yeah, when you see him in the videos the videos that's been produced, he drives really well. Like, I'm pretty sure he could drive a different car really well. And then if he's better than... Because when Jack Shanahan was over here, he was really good in Luke's S14. And if James Dean is better than Jack, then you can just tell how much skill... Like, you kind of have to... You don't know, because they haven't been next to each other. So I'm kind of deducing.
I completely get that now. Yeah, I get where you're coming from on that. Yeah, that's a really fair point. And I guess we could have said the same about Jack, not expecting him to do very much in a non-Wisefab, non-sequential boxed car, and he came out and drove really, really well.
He knew technically what to do, and he just did it. So I remember watching it. Like, I was standing right next to the fencing, whatever the metal barriers are. And I watched. Everyone else would have gone into the wall, and you would assume he would do the same thing, but he did the right thing. He did the right steering, the right footwork to keep him away from it. Even though he stopped and spun out, he didn't damage anything. Like he did the right thing, which is awesome. So that makes me think that, you know, if he's in his own car, then he'd be better. And then if this other guy's better than him, then from the competitions, then, you know, how much better is he? So it's really hard to compare, as I'd want to pick a good driver. If it's a favorite driver, you could also say people that you enjoy watching. Like, they don't actually have to be good.
Yeah. So you're going to say me? Thanks, CG.
No.
This is why we're...
every time I watch you, you're frustrated. Like, I just think...
just look. You can pretend to say those sort of things, but
yeah.
No, you can just pretend, but just play nice, mate.
So yeah, it's sort of him. There's I like a lot of the Jap drivers, but I've never really seen them outside of there. And yeah, it's really hard just to pick one. So it probably... I like Surnaga, actually, from Japan. I don't think he's done... I don't think he's actually won a championship, but, you know, just seeing him in Japan, his attitude... like, I'm not saying all these other guys aren't fun to be with, but he's, like, really full of energy, and his driving's good. Yeah, I guess that's who I'd pick. I kind of wanted to come back to DCA because he was added at DCA that I didn't get to go to. Yeah.
Mitch just said Nakamura, but I guess my thing with Nakamura is the two cars that I've personally, the few cars I've seen him personally drive on through YouTube and the internet is he's either always in an S13 that's either his one or that's been built for him either over in the States or somewhere else, or he's driven the S15 in King of Nations. So I think still very similar to his S13 in ways. So again, without being able to see people drive other cars, it's hard to judge. But do you agree with me in, I feel like the level of drifting worldwide now from these top guys is becoming so high that it's, I guess, guys are showing their versatility and being able to jump into anything, and then it really for the competition stuff, or even your sort of fun events, comes down to how a guy's feeling on the day and how well he can sort of put it together and how well the car's performing underneath him. I feel like the standard's getting so high that it's so consistent now.
Yeah, everyone just keeps pushing the standard higher and higher, and it's like that. That sort of is it the tenth when people say like everyone's at this level and someone pushes it like another tenth more. So like it's just it's slowly moving up, and everyone's sort of there's a whole bunch of people up at that end. Even though there's people better than the others, they're so close together that it makes it difficult to. Well, I don't know how those guys can maintain that sort of performance actually sometimes. And then because I'd be so inconsistent doing some of their stuff.
Yeah, but I guess it's that autopilot thing. Once you get good enough at something and you can just sort of turn your brain off and just go for it, it's just it happens underneath you, and you drive by feel. And this is something I've learned through Initial D. It's you drive through feel, not through thinking.
We'll just quickly try and catch up to these. Jay Kamara asks, when are you changing your Facebook name to Gerg?
Well, as a big time celebrity now, I'm just going to keep it my original name to keep me hidden from the main public eye, and we'll see what happens from there.
Mitch Sanders asks, Gerg, what's wrong with skidding in first gear when you only use second gear? Because it's Sydney, that's so big. I don't know what you want me to say, Jimmy, because I the comments come up really slowly for me. So what's wrong with first gear?
What's wrong with first gear? No, I'm saying a first gear counter-steered donut in a car park is not drifting.
Oh, I'm surprised you remember that because I couldn't remember when you said first gear. When Steve Pembury asked, when is Gerg merch hitting the shelves? Well, we've got stickers. I think maybe we could... we've got stickers, and that's about it. I don't think they're advertised anywhere.
Well, basically, at this stage, it seems like the Gerg brand is being taken up by the Team Red Stage guys, and they've got no money to actually buy anything. So if any of that actually happens, it'll be off my back. But speaking of merch, if we can get this logo cleaned up, we will potentially do a pre-order of some shirts or something, and if people want them, then if it's done through pre-order, then we can get a whole bunch of shirts done, hopefully maybe before Tasmania. So if you are interested, just let us know, and we'll put a feeler out for that. And that'll help us. If we can get a run of merch done, then we will start putting this up on one of the podcast servers, because that's going to cost us money.
Yep. Yeah, I still haven't found a free one yet.
So if we get a run of shirts done, that'll pay for that for probably a year or so.
James Zenhua Wen. I think the media plays a big part in damaging the reputation of drifting. The general public tends to believe what the TV says. Such a shame. Yeah, that's probably how the media works. That's generally how the media works. It's really hard, but we've got to try and somehow educate people what is drifting and what isn't drifting, and what's just bad behaviour, I guess. But it's easy to point and accuse and blame people.
But it's also that followers mentality too. If you don't have to go and slap somebody across the head for doing something stupid, but if you stand there and laugh at them and clap them on while they're doing it, then idiots continue to do dumb shit. Where if you even if you just turn away from them and give no acknowledgement to it, people stop doing dumb stuff. And I guess even if it's not your problem and the guy in the pit bay beside you has left crap all through his pit bay, just pick it up and throw it in the bin. At the end of the day, it's just going to impact you in the long run too, because we're going to have no tracks left to drive at.
Okay, I think we're pretty much caught up, I think.
Mitch said Blake drove 3 different cars to win Cash Kings. Yep, he did. The 2 of those he had driven before, and then I think he ended up, when he jumped into Christian's, it was actually fairly similar to what his was like. And I think at that moment he drove purely by feel and didn't even think twice about what he was doing. He just absolutely sent it. Stewie is definitely another guy who shows a lot of flexibility in driving. Anybody who's willing to go out and play with that much adjustment and just go out and give it a go and just try anything is always going to become a better driver, because they know where their limits are, good and bad, and that's what more people need to be willing to do. But everybody has this expectation that they have to go out and be perfect each run, or they have to put on this persona that everything's perfect, where Stewie gives no Fs and just goes out and drives. So a few people need to take that attitude a little bit more. Maybe, I guess even Stewie's cleaned up the way his cars look for most events and stuff like that now, so can't even use that as an example to say that, maybe he's a little bit rough. But he's a little bit rough sometimes, but he seems to have cleaned up a lot of that sort of stuff. Always been blown away when DCA has an international guest come over and jump in the car they haven't driven before, or even right-hand drive for the first time, and then they outperform Australia's top drivers who are driving their own cars. It just shows you how good those guys are, and I think Luke generally gets good guys to come out. I think sometimes too, those guests who come out have been competitors or doing a lot more drift competitions than a lot of guys who do, say, DCA in Australia, and those guys just know how to handle pressure. So even if they're in an absolute a bomb of a car or in a great car, or something completely different, they're guys who know how to perform, and that's where I guess even for me, the first time I sort of jumped into competition drifting, I don't find that the nerves hinder me, the nerves help me. But again, I've come from a competitive sport background, so that tends to help. And I think for a lot of those guys coming from overseas, they know how to channel that energy, where a lot of our guys are still learning how to use that energy. And going to an event like a Mount Gambier, where there are a good amount of spectators and they're super close, and then they can come down and see you after you've done some runs, there is a lot of pressure on drivers to go out there and perform. So that's where I think our Aussie guys are still learning a lot.
Okay. Can you see any more questions? I've caught up now, I think. And
yeah, that was the last one that I got. I think We've been going for like an hour and a half now. So
now 40 minutes. So it's pretty good.
We're a pretty good length. Yeah, look, this is something we will continue and endeavour to do in the future. Jai and Chev from Curse Sundays, if you are listening, this is a call out to do an interview at some stage. It would be good to get you guys on to talk about the Bring the Bash 3 event, plus the hard work going on in the background to try and secure some more tracks around New South Wales. I know that not too much can be said, but the amount of crap that gets put on you guys and how much you have a high five now, chest bump. Yeah, no, not going to happen, Steve. So it'd be good to get those guys on. So if you're listening, this is a call out to you guys. We do Wednesday nights normally, and I guess we're 10 episodes in, and we've done one every week for 10 weeks.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? I didn't know if we'd get this far before it just like go, oh no, it's a big sort of pile of mess, but it seems good. It seems, and we keep getting more and more viewers and responses, which is good.
Yeah. Yeah,
another question.
Yeah, and Mitch, we're probably going to get you on at some stage because you have a great mind for a lot of this stuff. So a lot of your questions, I understand where they're coming from, but I think it would be good to get you on. Mitch says that something that something I saw at Mount Gambier that potentially shows a change in the drift to something more professional were spectators wanting autographs from drivers. I believe Mitch Doyle and Dale Campaign both signed bits of their body kit for some real excited people from the crowd. So, yeah, look, as we spoke about in the last episode, and I keep saying, if things like that happen, people start to follow. It will become mainstream that people start to sign things, give away bits of broken body kit, and that will be what keeps drawing fans in. If people look at that and go, oh, that's really stupid or that's lame, then it will never improve. But our guys are starting to clean up their act, and I do believe that in the greater part of the scene, we are getting much better with a lot of that stuff. But again, that is these top guys leading the pack with that and taking responsibility and knowing that people are looking up to them. It's like we're kids all over again, and those influential guys do play a major role into what people are doing. We
should probably...
Yeah, we're going to wrap it up.
Probably going to run out of info very, very soon. So,
this will be... I guess this will stay up on the Facebook page. It'll end up on the YouTube.
Yep.
If you can jump over and like and subscribe to the YouTube page, it would be helpful. Yep. I guess we're getting the hours up. I think, what did I work out? We're up to like 715 hours of view time, which is awesome. That I'm actually really surprised that we've gotten there so quickly. Keep supporting us. There will be a run of merch, hopefully. So if you guys are interested, I'll put a post up in the next week or two about it. And if anybody is in graphic design and can do some vector graphics for us, please let us know.
And we also, just so we don't forget, there's been a lot of people wanting to come on and talk as well. So we have a list of guests, but we kind of need to work into how to do these sort of live talks and things like that. So we'll probably ease into another live one with a guest maybe, or even just try and bring Blake in again.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't think we have a set plan for next week yet, do we?
No, we don't have a set plan just yet. So, yeah, I'm not sure if we'll go live again next week, but we will. Yeah, we don't want to waste the guest interviews. If we can show that we can do these sort of consistently without too many dramas, maybe somebody like Mitch, if Mitch is happy to come on, Mitch would be a good one to have on for one of these sort of episodes because it can just be a drift chat style thing again. And then, yeah, when we want to sort of really grill somebody, we'll make sure this is a well-oiled machine for that.
Cool.
All right, so...
Alrighty. So
I don't even know where. I can almost sort of see. No, I can sort of see where you are.
It's
too hard on.
Yeah, you can see where the mark is, can't you?
Yeah,
so
but I don't.
It's the almost the white line of the wardrobe.
Of the glass.
Yeah, the glass. Yeah, there it is.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Goodbye, guys.
Okay.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. High five.
Oh.
No, it looked all right on mine.
Did it? Okay.
But yeah, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Send us your feedback and.
Yep.
Oh, Mitch said he'll be waiting by the phone. So Mitch Sanders next episode, I think that's what's going to happen, and then we might try and grab Jai and Chev a couple of weeks later if they're happy to come on and do that.
Yep. Cool. Alrighty.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Okay. Thank you. Just end the broadcast. All right. Thank you.